A Gittavach. This is from the Zera Shimshon, Parshat Bo. And before I begin, the Segula will be this week on Tuesday, Yom Shlishi, to say Parshat Haman, Shnayim Mikra Echad Targum. That's Abdavar Yadua, and it's a Segula for Parnasa and all the Git Zachem. So I want to do this Parsha, Parshat Bo, Zera Shimshon, in Tesvav. It's 2 Bishvat. No, it's the 15th kapitel in Parshat Bo. So the Gemara says in Psachim Perak Yud, Daf Kuf Yud Ches Omid Beis, Dorash Rabba, Daloisi V'Liya Hishuya. It's a kapitel Telem Kuf Tes Zayin, Pasuk Zayin. Excuse me, Pasuk Vav. Omar Knesset Yisrael Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Afal Pi Shedala Ani Min HaMitzvos, even though I'm impoverished from mitzvahs, Noah Lehoshia. Li Noah Lehoshia. For me, there was talking about the Jews in Israel, it's fitting for me to be saved. Ad Kanashani. Kasha Ma Loshen Dala Ani Min HaMitzvos. What does it mean they were poor, impoverished from mitzvahs? Eich Nikshar Ze Im Tchilas HaPasuk. How is this connected to the beginning of the pasuk that says, Shomer Psoyim Hashem? God guards over those that are fools. It's used for many different reasons. What does it mean we're benefit from being saved? For me, it's beneficial to be saved. Of course, everybody wants to be saved. What's the problem? If you say, well, the Goyim are also impoverished from doing it. They don't have mitzvahs. They don't have a lot of mitzvahs. But the non-Jews are not commanded the Sheva mitzvahs, but they were taken away from them, so we won't count that. But the Jewish people, unfortunately, were commanded to do the mitzvahs, and they weren't doing them. What does it mean that we're begging Hashem? It's fitting for me to get saved. Why the Jews would be fitting to get saved? The Isa b'midrash in the Alkut in Yisra Remesh Reish Sadik Ches on the pasuk of Kaveda Savicha V'Esimecha, and this is the pasuk in the quoting from Mishlei in Mishlei Hey pasuk Zvav. It says there Oira Chaim. Oira Chaim Pentefales. No Magaleseha Loi Seda. So it says that she does not chart a path of life. Okay, her course meanders for lack of knowledge. That's the simple shot in the pasuk. You can understand the little drasha that he's doing over here. Oira Chaim Pentefales. She does not chart a path of life, because you'll see what it says in the Gemara here. Omar Rabbi, and it's a Yalkut Midrash. Omar Rabbi Avak Bar Kahana Shaloi Tehi Yosef V'Shaikel Mitzvah Shel Torah. A person shouldn't sit and start and figure out the 613 mitzvahs. Which one's better? Which one am I going to get more reward? Which is Kadai to do more than the other one? And I say, and I'm going to figure out which mitzvah gets more reward, and I'll do that one. So lama no nagaleseo. So it says, what am I going to do? You'll evaluate the course. V'loi seda, you won't figure it out. Okay, you won't know. God hid all the schar of the mitzvahs. Like a pasuk in a kapitel in Pirkei Avos says, schar mitzvahs b'hayim al maleka. And the person doesn't know the reward of each mitzvah. Right? You can try to figure out, but you'll never do it. Tani Rabbi Chaim Kanievski shahaya ve'pardes ve'hichnis b'poyalim. So it's similar to a mashal to a king that gave a big vineyard or a pardes or to a number, and all the workers came in. Le'gila lohem sachar nitiyaisav. Pardes, and he didn't tell them the reward, what they would receive for working this crops. Because if you would have told them which is the one that's getting more reward, well, you know what's going to happen. So he's going to come out that if the workers know what they're getting paid more for doing, then they're going to do that and forget the rest of the parties. And the parties is going to be forsaken. If he reveals the reward for each mitzvah, well, some are going to be doing, everybody's going to rush to those mitzvahs, and the other ones are going to be forgotten. So God didn't tell me the reward of the mitzvahs in order that we should go in tamimus, in simplicity, and for him, not to ask too many questions. Maybe we fulfilled those mitzvahs that don't have so much reward, and therefore I'm considered, I have impoverished for the reward of those mitzvahs. And therefore it's illogical that I should be benefited, that I should be saved, because I did those mitzvahs perfectly. I didn't ask if there was reward. We shouldn't do that anyway, because it says in the Mishnah, right? Don't serve God in order to receive the reward. Serve him tamimus. Serve him in perfection, in simplicity. And whatever you get, finished. That's why it says in the beginning of the pasuk in Tehillim that God guards those that are fools. Fools doesn't mean exactly a fool. He means somebody that's going with simplicity, right? Because they don't know the reward of the mitzvahs. They're foolish when it comes to this. They're trying to figure it out, but they can never figure it out. So God protects them even though they're impoverished from this knowledge. They fulfilled the mitzvahs that there was very little reward to them. So God gives them this reward as if they're the simpletons that are guarding the pardes, the orchard. He doesn't know which one is more rewarding than to pick and to guard and to work. So Inami Yesh Lemer de Amina b'Yalkut, and it says in the Yalkut Tehillim, it says on the pasuk Nairois b'Tzedek Tanenu. Yes, it's being awesomeness in righteousness you will answer us. Kol ha'nairois she'asiso imanu be'olam hazeh. All the awesomeness that you did for us in this world is b'shvil ha'yisurim shata mevi aleinu be'olam hazeh ad kan l'shayna. It's because of all the yisurim that you brought upon us in this world. It says also in that Yalkut that it was also the yisurim that you bring us in this world will be the reward we will receive in the world to come, which makes sense. Even though I'm impoverished from mitzvahs, I don't know which ones are more rewarding than others, but I still do them. I'm still fitting or proper to be saved because you brought the Yisurim of Galus upon us. In Perek Test Shabbos, it says, that God says, those that are insulted, right, and do not insult back, don't reverse that, who bear their shame and do not respond, all oisim me'ava, they act out of love and are joyful in suffering. Oyhavav ketzeis hashemish b'gvurasei. That's a pasuk in Shoftim by Shiras Devorah, that they are the ones that are beloved. Yes. Then the sun goes forth in its might for them. The kasha ma'inyan ditzias hashemish l'dvorah v'elam. What's the connection between their being insulted and being quiet, and then the sun going out? What's the sun going out got to do with them? Yesh lefarish shemishu nelav mivza mi b'nei adam. Somebody who is insulted and disparaged by people who einon oile ve'eno mevaza, and he doesn't insult in return, nor does and he doesn't respond in kind. Who choishe b'libay eichi tachin shakadosh baruch hu lo yasa din be'olvoi. And he thinks in his heart, how is it possible that God won't do some judgment in the one that insulted him? Because he didn't do anything to deserve this. The guy just came up and insulted him. Dumi de Maida Amina b'Midrash Rabbah, and Beishis Rabbah says in Parshat Lamed Aleph, on the pasuk Kates Kol Basar Bolefonai. This is talking about Noach, right? So at the end of flesh, all flesh has come before me. Meroiv ashukim yizaku yeshavu mizrea rabim. That's a pasuk in Eov. The pasuk in Eov says, because of the contention of the oppressed, cry out. They shout because of the power of the great. It's a strange pasuk. A lot of psukim in Eov need a lot of deep understanding. But here he's explaining it. Meroiv ashukim yizaku elu neshakim. What is because these people got so insulted, they're screaming out to God. Yishavu mizrea rabim elu ha'oishkim, and he will be saved from the strength of those many. Those are the people that are insulting us. Elu rabim al elu. So these are more frequent or more numerous than these. Ve'elu rabim al elu. So they're trying to get over one another in their numbers alone. Just elu rabim al elu bechimus mamin. So these people who are insulting us, they overcome us because of their stealing the money. Ve'elu rabim al elu bechimus dvorim. And the others are overcoming the others because of the words that they're using. They're chaimism. They're grabbing the words. Ad shenechtam gezar dinam ad kanashana. Till the end of the gezar din is sealed. Ayin sham b'fiu. Okay. Well, lechein omar va'oyavav k'sheis hashemish b'gvurasei. Therefore, the pasuk says in Dvorim, in Shoftim, by Shiras Devorah, the Amina b'Meseches Avodah Zarah, it says in Daf Nun Daled, Shoalu es hazakenim v'roimi. The elders asked in Rome, Ein retzaynei b'Avodah Zarah, lama einam bevatla. They asked the elders, the Roman sages, whatever they had, asked the elders, if God doesn't want Avodah Zarah in the world, why doesn't he just destroy him? Okay, so God, actually, there was I remember the Gadol, he responded to him. He said, I think it was Rabbi Yeshua. He said, you want God to destroy his whole world because of fools? The world is conducting itself the way it is. That's the way God created the world. It has to continue. The sun, the moon, the stars. They worship the sun, the moon, the stars. But the fools that ruined all this stuff, it doesn't stop the sun from producing its rays. It doesn't stop the moon from doing its tune on the oceans and producing crops. So God doesn't want to destroy his world just because of a bunch of fools. But in the end, these people have insulted God, and they've insulted the world. They insulted the stars and the sun. So even though the sun is really not supposed to respond properly. It should just go hide someplace, but it does shine every day, even though these fools are bowing down to them. So, and there's no, I'm sorry to say there's no segula this week, but like I said, the segula is to say Shnai Mikra Echad Targum on Parshat Aman on Tuesday, and it'll be Matzliach, Be'ez Hashem, all the Yeshuas and the Chamas, Parnasa B'Revach should come to everybody. Lange, Hakol B'Seder.